You think your biggest enemy is your competition, your boss, your circumstances, the world that seems stacked against you. But you are wrong. The real enemy, the one that does the most damage, has been with you since you took your first breath. It's sitting right behind your eyes. A study from the National Science Foundation found that the average person has between 60,000 and 80,000 thoughts a day. And the crushing part, the majority of them are negative, and a staggering 90% are repetitive. You are fighting the same battles, replaying the same fears, listening to the same broken record, day after day after day. You are not losing to the world. You are losing to the chaos inside your own skull. I want you to picture this. It's 2:37 a.m. The world is silent, but your mind is a screaming arena. Every mistake you've ever made is on replay. Every future fear is projected on a giant screen. A comment from your boss earlier today is now a symphony of inadequacy. A bill you have to pay has morphed into a monster of financial ruin. You are safe in your bed, but your body is rigid. Your heart is pounding. You are under attack, but there is no one else in the room. The enemy is not external, it's internal. Your mind has become a battlefield, and you are both the soldier and the land you're fighting over. If you don't learn to command your thoughts, they will command you. They will decide when you sleep, when you worry, when you quit. They have already started. This uncontrolled mind creates invisible enemies. Doubt isn't just a feeling. It's an internal assassin that slips into the shadows and cuts the brakes on your ambition right before you take a leap. Fear isn't just a response. It's a prison warden that locks you in a cell of what-ifs and never lets you taste the air of possibility. Overthinking isn't just a habit. It's a wood chipper for your ideas, your joy, your present moment. It takes a single event and grinds it into a million tiny pieces of anxiety until there's nothing left but dust. Procrastination isn't laziness. It's the silent surrender to these other assassins. It's you laying down your weapons because the battle inside feels too loud to fight the one outside. Your mind can be your greatest weapon or your most inescapable prison. The difference isn't luck. It isn't genetics. It's training. An untrained mind is like a wild animal in a small cage. It paces. It snarls. It reacts to every shadow, every sound. It tears at the bars until it's bloody and exhausted. It fights against you because it knows no other way. But a trained mind is that same animal, but tamed, focused, powerful. It has the same raw power, the same instincts, but it is disciplined. It sits, it waits, it listens for your command. It fights for you. It becomes your most loyal protector. You have to ask yourself right now, is your mind a weapon you wield or a prison you inhabit? You cannot outsmart life if you cannot outsmart yourself. Think about that. You have plans, goals, dreams. You read the books, you watch the videos, you know the steps. But you sit down to start, and the first resistance comes. Not from the outside world, from inside. The first whisper, I'm tired. The first excuse, I'll do it tomorrow. The first full-blown rebellion, I can't do this. Who do you think you are? This is the real bottleneck. This is the filter that separates the life you have from the life you want. Your mind is the first I can't. And if you don't learn to silence that voice, it will, with absolute certainty, silence your entire potential. It will talk you out of everything that matters. We often mistake strength for physical power, but the strongest people I have ever known, the ones who move through the world with a quiet, unshakable force, aren't the ones with the most muscle. They are the ones with the most mental discipline. They feel the same storms of emotion, the same tidal waves of impulse, the same distractions pulling at their focus. The difference is, they have built a lighthouse inside themselves. They control the narrative. They don't let a bad feeling become a bad day. They don't let a sudden impulse derail their progress. They don't let the noise of the world scatter their attention. That control, that command over the internal universe, that is real power. The kind of power that cannot be taken from you. So much of the weight you carry is ghost weight. Your mind is a masterful, diabolical storyteller. It takes a small, uncertain detail and writes an entire epic tragedy around it. A strange look from a colleague becomes a story about your impending firing. A minor pain in your body becomes a story about a terminal illness. A quiet afternoon becomes a story about your profound loneliness. Half of your stress is a fictional narrative. Half of your fear is a horror story you are writing and directing and starring in real time. An uncontrolled mind exaggerates everything. It takes a pebble of a problem and, through the relentless pressure of obsessive thought, turns it into a mountain you can never climb. The path forward is not to kill the enemy, because the enemy is a part of you. The path is to master it. Master your mind, master your life. It's the fundamental equation. If your thoughts obey you, your actions follow. It's a direct chain of command. A disciplined thought leads to a disciplined action. A focused thought leads to a focused effort. A positive, determined thought leads to resilient, persistent movement. Your discipline sharpens. Your future aligns. It's not magic. It's cause and effect. You are building your future one thought at a time, whether you realize it or not. And you have to understand this. Your mind is loudest when your life is quiet. When you're alone. When you're tired after a long day and just sitting with yourself. When you're in the shower with no distractions. When your focus wavers for just a second. That is when the enemy attacks. That is when the doubts creep in, the anxieties amplify, the fears find their voice. This is why you scroll on your phone until you pass out. You're trying to outrun the silence. But you can't. The only way out is through. You have to train your mind, especially in the silence. You have to be able to sit with yourself, in the quiet, and not be at war. Because if you don't, it becomes a cascade. Control your mind before it controls your habits. This is how a life unravels. It's not with a bang, but with a whisper. One negative thought, left unchecked, becomes a negative mood. That negative mood leads to a negative action. You snap at someone. You skip the gym. You eat poorly. That negative action solidifies into a negative day. One negative day, repeated, becomes a negative week. The pattern hardens. The neural pathways deepen. One negative month becomes a negative identity. And before you know it, you look up and a year has gone by, and you are not who you wanted to be. You wasted a year not because of external forces, but because of an internal chain reaction you failed to stop at the source. The most important battle you will ever fight is not on any external field. It is internal, not external. The world outside is chaotic, unpredictable, and often unfair. But that chaos is nothing, nothing, compared to the self-inflicted chaos of a mind with no discipline, no master, no compass. A storm outside can damage your house, but a storm inside can make you burn it down yourself. This is the hard truth most people never face. Most people lose to themselves before they ever lose to life. Their own excuses beat them. Their own fears beat them. Their own self-doubt beats them. They are knocked out of the race by an opponent they never even acknowledged. Long before reality ever had a chance to say no. They had already said it to themselves 1,000 times. So what is the answer? You must remember this, write it on your heart. Your mind is not who you are. It is a tool. It is an instrument. It is a wild, powerful, and often messy part of you that must be trained. Like a muscle that aches and burns as you strengthen it. Like a skill that requires frustrating, repetitive practice. Like a beautiful, dangerous animal that must be tamed with patience, respect, and firmness. You are the trainer. You are the craftsman. You are the tamer. This is your one change. This is the fundamental shift. Stop fighting the world and start commanding the one thing you have any hope of truly controlling. The space between your ears. The battle is won in the quiet moments. It's won when you notice the negative thought and you choose not to follow it down the rabbit hole. It's one when you feel the pull of procrastination and you place your hand on the keyboard anyway. It's one when fear screams at you to turn back, and you take one small, trembling step forward. This is how you rewire the 80,000 thoughts. Not all at once, but one thought at a time. Your future is waiting on the other side of that discipline. Go and build it.